makes it's unique. It's unique to Collegedale. That's what makes Little Debbie's so attractive. Is it's unique to Collegedale. I think the platform is unique. The camera I have a little concern about. I know they've done. I'm thinking of a camera in Dublin, Ireland. The viewing portal, and people were exposing themselves, and you've got all kinds of people acting crazy. So I don't want us to get ourselves into that.
I would also raise the concern that Whistle Stop has done a great job at branding themselves, and we want to be very careful to not go too far into this road that it would harm some of the people that are patroning them to sit on their roof and have a milkshake and watch the trains go by.
I think if anything, it would kind of feed off of each other, because I noticed that there's the mural in the budget. I'd like to see that building out there. We use the side of it for the mural and do like a welcome to Collegedale, something very
Yeah.
Instagrammable. So people want to go out there and look a little bit and take a picture and tag the city.
Yeah,
I think they would play off of each other very well.
I think so, and let Whistle Stop advertise
Yeah.
out there.
I went out this morning or this afternoon to look at the whole layout of everything and where, if we could actually fit something on our property. And the height difference between the pavilion that we already have there and the viewing platform that we put out there would be negligible, be 3 or 4 feet difference. So I guess my idea would be is, how about we have the pavilion that we already have there and have that be the viewing station, and just rebrand it as a viewing station instead of a pavilion. That way your infrastructure's already there.
Yeah,
ADA accessible is already there. You've got 6 picnic tables. We just don't call it a train viewing station right now, so no one knows about it. But if
I
you
would
were to
still
rebrand
like,
that,
I'd still like to see us move towards more of the viewing station, and maybe pour a patio then, so it extends out more and you're not just under that pavilion kind of hidden.
does anyone use the pavilion?
Yes.
yes, it's used all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me ask this. So our caboose and flat car out here, do people really use that flat car anymore? I know it's got a lot of rod on it and stuff.
Not very often, and I've gotten one pricing so far to replace the railing, and it was astronomical. So we're looking at getting other pricing to replace it.
Currently, it's mainly used for Parks and Rec programming, Tunes on the Track, and several items like that throughout the year.
I was thinking maybe we could put that over there. Why?
The whole
Oh,
train
to
car.
move it.
Moving
We
it
could
would
build
be,
some.
yeah.
Moving it will be,
Got it here one way.
I'm pretty sure the donor paid for it when he took it out of his personal yard.
Yeah.
And my expectations, they will sit there until we give them away for scrap price.
So maybe we find a flatbed trailer and put it.
You and these flatbed.
I'm just telling you, I'm thinking outside the box just
Well,
to make something work.
Could we partner with the Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum? Do they have a piece of rolling stock that they don't need any longer?
That's an idea
That
worth
is a good
researching.
I was gonna say, is there a train organization club around that
There's a
would
railroad
work with
museum.
us?
There's several.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that at the Tennessee Railroad Museum, but
And they,
surely there's
got rid of
some
that engine.
organization that would work with us.
and they may have,
How do we do that?
and they'll know through the state where one's available. Somebody's just trying to
So
get rid of it.
that's a good idea. We can reach out to them, see if there are any funds available, or is there any way that they've ever partnered on a project like this? And go from there.
I think you start small. Now, I will tell you, if you go out there and look at the YouTube of this site, they've got railroad streaming in Chattanooga, all across the U.S. It's kind of amazing to sit there and watch trains and,
How many subscribers do they have?
I'll look that up if I can.
It's a pretty large community. I'd be
Yeah,
And they
Very
also,
cute.
this group they also did the one that caught the freight truck or ship hitting the bridge on that camera. And there's planes, and it's amazing watching.
I know someone that doesn't live in Collegedale, but very close. He works in Collegedale. He knows everything about every train that ever went through here in the last 100 years. I'll have him call you
Okay.
and see if he can give you some ideas.
I also have a train enthusiast at home that
He made it very clear.
Well, the Tennessee Valley
Yeah.
Railroad Museum donated the steam engine at Children's Hospital. That was a surplus engine that they had no use for. It was never going to run again. You know, maybe they've got a piece of equipment, an engine or a rail car they would donate. But I really do like this idea, and I think we need to refurbish Thatcher Switch. I think it's tired. I don't see a lot of folks out there, and if I do see someone, they're out there kicking a soccer ball. But I mean, I drive past it 2 or 3 times a day, and that's my personal observation.
Before they started working on the road, there was a lot of people there. That parking lot would be full most of the time until all that construction began.
That has been my observation as well. And I dropped by last week, and there were people there having a picnic, people getting on and off the greenway, using the restroom facilities. Nobody was playing soccer at that point in time. But it's used fairly regularly. But yes, several years ago was prior to construction was used a lot more often.
Right. It was.
Yeah, there was people on the soccer field quite often during the day before all that happened. We closed the parking lot.
So how about this? We table these last 3 items until we can reach out to the Railroad Museum, see if or how they could partner on the project. And then we come back and have a discussion on what we want to do with the money that's budgeted this year.
They have 475,000 subscribers. The virtual rail fan.
People like trees.
That was smaller than I expected.
I understand that's just the trains, it's not the boats
Mhm.
and the planes.
Did you have someone that was going to give a presentation to us as well?
Yeah,
Talk
his daughter's sick today and so he apologized. They have a brand new flyer that he meant to send me, but they had to make a typo change, so I should get that this week.
Okay.
And we can send that out. But if that's good with the commission, we'll just table it for now. We'll not do anything until we get some more information, and then have another conversation on what we want to do with what's budgeted this year.
And you're gonna look at train cars maybe that we could,
We're going to reach out to the Railroad Museum and see if they've ever partnered on a project like this, what brainstorming ideas they would have. And then,
there are grants available for this. He was going to get me some information on that as well with the brochure, so.
right. So we can include all that in the next conversation.
Okay.
I'm going to count those last 3 as covered. And then we will start with Chief Sapp.
Nothing this afternoon.
Ryan,
That's it for me.
Andrew,
Nothing new to report.
Eric,
Nothing for me.
Christina.
Always something. Just to give everybody an update of what we've got coming this upcoming month. We're bringing back paddleboarding for adults and kids, pickleball clinics for kids. We are doing a movie in the park at Little Debbie Park on June 8th. We have mountain bike skills as well as the Greenway scavenger hunt, making use of our bicyclists in the community. We have partnered with Greg Roy's Martial Arts to bring self-defense for women 16 and plus. This will be completely free, but it is for a limited number. We've done this in the past, but we were charged a large sum of money. This time, this partner is doing it for completely free as community give back. So we're really excited about that. And then our partnership with the library continuing to bring family stuff. We've got family bingo at the end of the month. And we are doing things a little different where it is for 5 and up. So babies do not get bingo cards.
Should add some efficiency.
Yes. But that is it.
Ryan, you have your community event coming up.
So June 11th, wanted to invite you all. We're going to be doing a town hall for the zoning rewrite. It's going to be over at Founders Hall at 6 p.m. I'm just going to go over the main changes that we're doing in the zoning ordinance. And then we're planning on presenting that at the workshop in August. And then we'll go through the channels to get that approved after that.
All right. I sent you all the TDOT letter earlier that we were asked that answered everything in depth. And in this week's email, I'll give a very brief synopsis of that for the community update. And then unless something time sensitive comes up, there will not be a workshop next month. If something comes up, there will be. So, Commissioner,
How are we looking at for the 4th of July?
July 3rd, everything's ordered and on track.
Is it posted on our website?
I'll have to check. We were
Yeah,
waiting until
I've
the
been
1st of
looking.
June, so that was only a 30-day lead time.
That's
So-
There's nothing on the calendar either for updates.
It seems like we don't even.
We
use
have
that
nothing going on in
calendar.
the city. I don't know what's going on, so tell me.
Hey.
I didn't know about the movie night, so how did I miss that?
That's on my calendar.
Well, we have that city
On
calendar on the
marquee, too.
web.
It's been on the
page
marquee.
that it's not getting used.
It's
Did we
not-
get
Yeah, the
everything?
one on the main page isn't.
I think that's where everybody probably looks though. Could we get everything put on the actual city webpage?
Yeah, we can do that. We can get a couple of permissions for, I would think so.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah.
We'll get some permission so that everyone can also use that as a repository.
Okay.
So you're saying we can't put the fireworks out there because it's not 30 days in advance?
Typically, you advertise 30 days in advance so that it's on the front of people's mind. And so that would be next.
I bet you I got 7 calls last week,
Really?
I had 2 texts.
and my wife was one of them.
So I actually spoke to Commissioner Sadler about that Thursday, and we're working this week to get the ads together and then trying to push them out next week.
She was trying to schedule her work schedule, so she called me while she was at work.
Can I,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask too, I know we talked about it a little bit, but, and I read I can't remember how far back it was about not doing something like this until like Christmas. But can we not do up here at the Commons, they're willing to partner with us to do like a apple pie, some type pie contest, something to make it homely. There's been some ladies that have been interested in exhibiting their quilts and things.
So
We
I'm
don't
meeting
have to
with.
Do that, but we have somebody that will help us work with that.
I'm meeting with CTF later this week to try to figure that out. The pivot, when it's just the commission eating the pies versus the public, makes it so much easier. And so I'm going to meet with them to try to capture those ideas where the commission would be the judges, all that choose to be, rather than the public, so that the logistics of food safety and wash up and restrooms and versus portalets, et cetera, became overwhelming to do a community vote. But with the 5 of you voting, we believe we have a path to victory where we could do that as part of the Freedom Festival.
I don't think we were ever going to have the public do the tasting because I don't think a participant would want to make 50 pies.
But my understanding was that it was because it started as a pie eating contest and then moved to a voting contest, was that the goal was the community to vote. And that's really why it became so difficult logistically, because you're exactly right. Number of pies, how many people, where do they wash their hands beforehand and afterwards, et cetera. With a limited number of people eating, we will also limit the number of entries to something reasonable. That fixes the logistics problem. And so, like I said, we're going to meet, towards the end of this week and work on some of that so that we can hopefully bring that as part of the Freedom Festival. And we would like to do the quilt thing as part of our Christmas program because quilts and Christmas seem to go together much better than quilts and the heat of July. And that was the path we were looking to go at on that. It also gave a little more time for participants. So,
Okay.
that's all I had, Commissioner Sadler.
I don't know if anyone else saw, but the Southern Accent newspaper got recognized for their year anniversary of the train wreck coverage. So thought that was kind of neat and kind of appropriate for our train themed meeting. I was in Ringgold yesterday and I saw one of our Durangos at a collision center down there. I was kind of curious while we're doing work in Georgia, paying Georgia sales tax, if we're getting some kind of big savings or.
I'll let the chief speak to that.
So Durango for what?
Saw one of our Durangos at a collision center down in Georgia yesterday.
I'll have to check and see what it is, what it's down there for.
We
Okay.
don't pay sales tax.
We don't, but it's the.
We don't pay sale tax in Georgia either?
Well, sometimes we do, sometimes we don't.
It's
Probably
complicated.
not for, if there's a certain company we use, probably not. We've probably got it set up.
Right. But things like hotels. we
Same
do.
Durango I saw go
Sometimes
through,
when they
it was during the week.
Let us get you some information.
Okay.
To give you.
And then if you could tell us how you decide like which shops they go to, that would be appropriate as well.
Yeah, that's usually a mix between availability and pricing, but we'll get into those details as well.
Okay, and then I had somebody walk in Veterans Park this weekend and they noticed the planes are looking a little bird poopish. Are they getting close to their cleaning for the?
So we did a thorough cleaning last year. We usually do a thorough cleaning every 2 years.
Okay,
You can pressure wash them hard and then they'll be pooping on them the very next day.
so are they not going to get cleaned this year too before the?
Usually it's
fireworks?
every 2 years that we do a heavy thorough cleaning where we have to rent a lift and everything.
Do we want Veterans Park to sparkle for the fireworks? Or does that cost us a lot of money to do it every year?
It's what, 2 days work?
Yeah, it's a $1,500 rental on the lift and then it's, 2 days work. So it's about $2,500.
Does our bucket truck not help facilitate that?
No, it would get stuck. It can't get off in the grass.
Yeah, we have to
It stays
rent
wet.
a four-wheel drive lift to do it. It's a specific lift to be able to do it. Do we have resources in the next month?
So we have, as far as our budget for rental fleet for this year has been spent.
I mean, manpower resources.
We can try and squeeze it in if that's the will of the commission.
If you'll check tomorrow on the availability of the lift first, and then you and I circle back on that conversation, seeing if we can get a lift in the next month and have the resources. I don't want to find out that it's only available July 4th or 5th and we've missed our window.
Okay.
But Eric and
Even if we
I,
could do a spruce up, a cleanup, with a ladder or something. I mean, not necessarily a deep cleaning, just
Something.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wash it down.
so Eric and I'll circle back on that this week, see what is available to be done in the next month
Okay.
and go from there.
That's all for me.
Okay.
I have received a second email from VC3
Okay.
saying I'm under quarantine.
Are you talking about the daily quarantines?
Mhm.
Because I get that every day. They quarantine certain spam emails.
Yeah, I get it every day.
Does someone else been getting them as well?
Yeah, I always
But
get
I
them right
would-
after
I
4
would
o'clock
just
every
t-
day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just started
know it.
getting them.
So you
I got
haven't
one.
gotten them in the past?
No,
Well,
I got
he's
them last
working
week and
on
one this week.
all of your emails for the payroll stubs.
Uh-huh.
So he's been, working on that.
Okay.
I don't know if that made a difference.
Well, I didn't open them. Tom just told me to delete them.
Yeah.
It's the
that's-
spam software.
Okay,
Mostly.
I won't worry about it then.
Okay.
I didn't want to mess up my phone.
I agree. Commissioner Baker?
I pretty much said what I needed to say.
Okay. Vice Mayor?
Well, I enjoyed the banana pudding eating contest or
Mhm.
tasting contest. We all shared separate spoons, but we ate out the same one multiple times. So we probably all come down with the same disease or germs at some point.
No, I prayed over mine. I was blessed to the
Is that why you were
nurse,
so hesitant to get up there? Dig it in.
but I was like, pray over this.
Rite Aid, I sent that email to you.
Yes.
So I don't think they're grandfather. I don't consider them grandfather because they've sold, changed,
What aspect is not grandfathered? I meant to ask for that clarification.
just any of it. I mean,
So the way our regs are written, the structure is an existing non-conforming until they remodel to 25% of the appraised value of the property.
and it's not when they sell and
Has
change.
nothing to do with being sold. And things such as parking we ran into, if they are attempting to rent it, then the existing business is the rental business, not the actual tenant. So we can't even push back on things like parking counts. It's considered existing non-conforming.
I think we need to look at that
We did.
because monument sign, I mean, I've noticed the sign's not the Rite Aid, of course,
Mhm.
but to me, they should meet the monument sign ordinance at this point.
So if they tear down, they have to, but as long as it's standing, it's existing non-conforming.
The sign,
Mhm.
there is no sign up there now.
Right, so they can't put a new one back. So when they can't put a new elevated sign, they will have to meet our sign ordinance with the new signage. That'll be permitted through the sign app. The exterior paint will just have to fall within the earth tones that are called for in our ordinance. But we do not have any room to get them to add brick veneer or stone veneer or anything like that.
No, I wasn't really considering that, but I like the monument sign was one thing and,
Is there anything currently on that monument sign? Or was it just an old Rite Aid sign?
It was
by
old
itself?
on the building on the top of the
Right,
building.
So any new sign, the wall sign will have to be following our current ordinance. And then since they are past their 6 months of whoever was using it in the past, their new monument sign's gonna have to
right.
be in
So they
compliance.
have to do
The, the signage will meet, but again, they'll be allowed to keep the evens. Whatever their parking count is what it is, and it is fine. We won't look at that versus chapter 17 of the zoning
And I
ordinance.
understand that, the parking piece. I was just concerned about some of the other things.
Yeah,
maybe.
but the signage will all be fresh permits.
I'm working with them on paint and trying to do some landscaping as well. Just because, I mean, a bright red building with yellow, I don't think will look the best, so.
Right.
All right. That's all I have.
Mayor?
I've received several phone calls about the condition of the flags in Veterans Park. I understand we are going to be replacing those. Okay. And that's what I've conveyed to the citizens that have called, saying, hey, you know, they are going to be replaced.
This is
Realize
such
that-
an interesting debate that we have annually. We have a percentage, and I'm not trying to take sides on this, but a percentage of the citizens that really want pristine, brand-new flags. And then we have a percentage of the citizens that really like to see used flags because it makes them think there's a previous commissioner, Garver, loved seeing a tattered flag because it made him think of war times. It's so interesting every year to have this back and forth over the condition of the flag.
Only other thing is if you need any contact information with Tim Andrews at the Railroad Museum, I'd be glad to help you with that.
If you would absolutely, I have zero contacts with anyone at the railroad or at the Railroad Museum, and I think it'd be great if we could include both when we reach out.
Okay, yeah, be glad to help, and that's all I've got.
Well, if that's it, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Sure can get a.
Oh, we'll see you next time.